Alright, I'm going to do a quick review of the brand new TB30 R neighborhood rider from Troy Bilt. I just got it delivered yesterday. I was able to cut with it today. Controls were really easy to navigate, even for the first ride on. Cut was very good. The grass was a little damp and it mulched it, no problems, no issues. I cut on speed 2 at first, just to get the hang of it, which seemed really good. And 3, anything over 3, I think, except if the grass is really dry, I think 2 or 3 would be your best bet, my opinion. The steering was very tight, actually. Not zero turn, obviously, but it was pretty tight. They did got around my trees pretty well. I'll show you my yard. The trees get around pretty well, so. But like I said, it cuts really well. I don't really have an issue with it at all. The only thing I would say is I do have a little bit of a slope here, which anything under 2, I think you'd have a little bit of an issue. I did 2 up and down, and I didn't have a problem. And I do have some uneven spots there, and it didn't scalp it. It didn't bog down. Nothing. It cut really well. Show my other side here. I have a fairly flat lawn, but it cut well. I cut on 5. I like to cut my grass high. 5 is pretty high, but I cut my grass about 2 times a week. But it did really well around the shrubs, the trees, and the damp grass. There was no issues, no clumps, no nothing. So the only thing I would say, if you're not really comfortable, is the first time you switch it from park to a gear and you let off the clutch, it does jump a bit. It seems that once you get the hang of it a little bit, it does come easier. This was my first time. Probably took me about, what normally would take me over an hour to use my push mower. Took me probably about a half hour, just because I was going a little slow, and also it's just fun to ride. It really is a nice riding mower for the size. It does tend to flex a little bit when you go over an uneven spot. It feels, but nothing crazy, nothing like you're gonna feel like the thing's gonna break. I mean, it is plastic. That's the only one thing. It's all plastic, but I mean, it does do its job. I mean, I'm happy with the purchase. I tend to get tired of mowing with my push mower, and the lawn companies want too much money. So, I mean, I could see even just a spring, summer, and fall cutting with this, it would pay for what lawn maintenance would pay for, and they tend to cut the grass low, and I like it high. I do like the cutting depth. That's 5 right there. It's high, but like I said, I like my grass cut very very high, just to give it that good green lush grass. But yeah, so if anybody's having any questions on it, it's a good mower. I mean, Craftsman makes it a model. I know Cub Cadet does. Cub Cadet has the shift on the fly. You could really just shift on the fly. This, you got to press the clutch in to shift. It's not really that big of a deal. I don't really see any issue with it. Started right up. First, they delivered it yesterday. I bought it from Lowe's. They delivered it. I put gas in it. Checked the oil just to make sure, but they ship it with oil. Put gas in it. Started right up. Fired right over. It's fairly easy to start. And the only thing is I think I had a problem at one point, because I didn't hit because there's the key here. you got your stop position. This is forward, and if you want to cut in reverse, you just switch the key, and you got to hit this button, and then a red light will flash, and that means you can keep the blade engaged while you go in reverse. I didn't do that, and the motor died, and I went to go start it again, and I was confused for about 35 seconds, but then realized that that's what the case was, and that I had to disengage the blade and then restart it, and it was fine. And trial and error. Most people go from a push mower, which I have no problem with. This the Husqvarna, I just bought this one this year too. It cuts great. I still do use it, but I wanted something with my yard a little faster. It turns tight, cuts good. I mean, you can't really beat it for $1,000. I mean, as you can tell, I don't have that much driveway space. This is all my stuff. I just bought a all new snowblower this year, blower, everything. So I don't have much room for stuff, so it fits pretty nice. I still have plenty of walkway here, and then my wife's car. So, any questions? Oh, one more thing. When you're cutting, or when you're going, make sure to not make the mistake I did and not engage the blade, because I went about halfway around my yard and then realized that the blade wasn't engaged and I didn't cut anything. So make sure you engage the blade before you start cutting. But like I said, it cuts well. My grass was a little wet. I checked underneath the blade and the deck, and there was no grass stuck to it at all. Not one piece of grass stuck to the deck at all. So, any questions, comments? Put them in the comment section. This is my first, review of a product. I'm going to try. I was trying to get some video of it actually mowing, but I was, first time. I wanted to make sure that I was, being careful with it first time. So, but any questions, comments, concerns? Shoot in the comments, and I'll answer anything. Thanks again. Bye.